It's Janine in Panama, and you might wonder what I'm sitting here doing with an electric drill and a trash can, but I'm on a mission to make a DIY compost bin. And one of the biggest things about compost is you need it to be able to drain and you need it to be able to oxygenate or it's not gonna work. So I am taking a trash can rather than going out and buying any kind of expensive compost bin. I'm gonna make one out of a trash can. And the reason I'm doing this rather than just using like maybe some fencing wire is we've got puppies and they'll get into anything. So what I've done is I started by drilling holes through the whole bottom of this trash can. If you look carefully, you can see the light through there. And then I just started drilling holes up and down the sides, and I'm almost done. Very simple. I've got like, I don't know, maybe a 3/8 inch drill bit, and I just get it going. Through. And I could probably use another roll of hose in between each of these because you really want good oxygenation. So that's what I'm going to do to finish it off. My process will be, I'll finish that on my own time, but if you can look through, you can already see this has got tremendous amount of light showing through it for air to come in. I'm going to get rid of all the plastic clippings, and then my process is for compost, you want equal amounts of brown, meaning like broken branches and dry tree limbs. Not green branches, brown branches. Green, like grass clippings and green leaves of things. And then food waste. And you mix those together. Brown, green, and food waste. And then the key is mixing them regularly, and they need to be exposed to heat, which is why this being black will help. And then they also need air. And I'm gonna make another row in between each of these rows so that really get a lot of air. Then they need some moisture. A few more holes and start layering my materials, browns, greens, and food, and we're good to go. So I'll show you the next time that I have some compost in here, and we'll see how it works. Bye. This will be the first time I'm actually layering composting materials in. And I had mentioned that I'm going to use as much as I can an even part of greens, browns, and food waste. And I might need to jump start it with a little already started compost. So you can just buy compost like this. Here's what it looks like in Panama. It's called Abonat, Compost Abono Organico. I think Abonat is the name brand. Abono is how you say compost in Spanish. So I have what just a short while ago was greens. They're going to be browns really fast, so I got to get moving. And then I have about an equal part of chopped up food wastes. And in here, I've got a lot of browns. Shredded up coconut husks and some grass that has already browned. So I am going to go ahead and mix these up layer by layer. And once I've got the first layer in, I'll show you. And then I'll show you what it looks like once I have it all finished. These are drying out really quickly, and I want to get them in there while they're still green and have enzymatic activity in there. Because green, brown, and food waste together is what makes a really good enzymatic mix. So I'm going to go ahead, get going, and I'll show you the first layer. It's not going to be this much brown. I just have it in there to show you. So I have filled about 1/4 to 1/3 of the bottom with the browns that I had, some of the browns that I had, and then I put half of the chopped up kitchen waste that I have, and now I'm going to layer some greens over that, and then they're going to be brown really soon, but you can see they still have some green in them. And now I'm going to put a few handfuls of already started compost on there. So I'm going to get a little soil in. Just letting you see. I'm just getting a little bit in there. It's already started. So I'll put a little bit more like that. Then I'm going to repeat the rest of those browns, the second bag of food waste, and the second thing of greens. I added another layer of browns, the second bag of food waste, And I'm going to cover that with these greens. Okay. And then, just for good measure, I'll top it off with the last of these browns. And then I'm going to top that off with some more of the already started compost. I'll do a layer like that, and then I'm going to moisten all this. I will get it going, I will moisten it, and then I'm going to put it in a sunny place where it can heat up and start doing its enzymatic action, and that's it. You do have to toss it and mix it, and one of the benefits of a system like this is you can kind of just roll it around if you want, or you can use, like a pitchfork or a shovel. I'll probably do a combination of both. I don't want too much stuff to fall out the holes in the sides, so I'll probably use a shovel to do this. So it doesn't make a lot at once, but I don't need a lot at once. I want to use it to top off potted plants, and I want to use it to reduce my waste on the environment. Later on, when we have huge gardens everywhere, I might start bigger compost bin, but this is great for my purposes right now. So stand by for now until I get this topped off with a little bit more of already started compost, and I will moisten it down. I'll show you what it looks like. So now that I've moistened my compost and mixed it all together, doesn't look like anywhere near as much, does it? But I've got a good mixture of the vegetables in with the dried brown grass and the green grass. Just to specify something, really, I've only got food waste and greens here because dried grass doesn't really count as browns. It's still going to be nitrogen rich. So what I need to be doing is gathering more dried leaves and small shredded twigs and sticks to be adding into this. Dried leaves will be good especially. Because dried grass is still a very high nitrogen content. So I want to boost up the carbon ratio on this, and that's going to help it decompose even better. But this is still a good start. And so I'm going to place it in a spot that is not in direct sun because it is so hot here that it will dry up too quickly. And I would rather it compost more slowly without drying out. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've chosen this spot over here on the east side of our house because this will get sun in the morning, but it gets shade by late morning, and this will not get too dried out. And so right now it's mostly dried grass, green grass, and food clippings. So I don't, officially have a lot of browns. These are the types of things I should add to it. And the only reason I'm not going to do that right now is I've gathered these to put in the bottoms of pots that I'm going to be transplanting these tropical plants into. So these are already spoken for, but I'm going to be gathering more like these, and I'm going to shred them up as best as I can. And I'm going to be mixing those browns in with this. I'm also going to be mixing it each day. You can also just let it sit. But the more I mix it, the faster it will compost, and the less likely that it will get skanky. It's a really good start. Really good start. And it's moist like a sponge, but it's not dripping. And it's sitting on a spot that has pretty decent drainage. It's not gonna get stuck in there because the holes in the bottom will be able to drain out of here. And very soon I will add in more browns, and I will just keep going like that. So we can add kitchen waste in here anytime, and it's pretty good to continue adding browns. Our grass clippings will become less and less now that we're into our dry season, but I'll take it as it goes, and that's my system. It's going to get plenty of air here. We've got oceanfront breezes, and the holes are all the way around it, and on the top and on the bottom. So I will probably mix it up every day and see how it's doing and continue adding food waste to it. On the food waste, I take out seeds because even though it probably should get hot enough to sterilize seeds, I don't want to take a chance on having a lot of pepper or other seeds starting in here. Also, I've read that it's really good not to include citrus and not to include tomatoes. Aside from that, pretty much anything goes. And if you chop them up pretty well, you'll do nicely. And they love eggshells, loves coffee grounds, any chopped vegetables. And we just don't use dairy, and I don't use any kind of animal meat or bones. First of all, that attracts rodents, and second of all, it's not really good for the decomposition process. So just to give you a follow-up on the compost, here's what we've got after a couple of months. By the way, I did set it up on a couple of cinder blocks so that it gets a little more drainage and air in the bottom holes. And we just keep adding more to it. Equal parts green, brown, and food waste. Works best if you chop things up. You'll see there's some things in here that weren't chopped super well, but in general, we are well on our way to this being compost. It becomes this rich, organic, like Tierra Negra kind of stuff. It's beautiful. Abono, compost. So that's what's going on. We have a shovel and a pitchfork that I use to mix those up, and we just keep adding more, layering it, and it's a nice little system. The compost is very rich, very, very rich. We started out with a tiny little couple of layers of abono, organic compost, mixed in to give it an enzymatic jump start, and that really helped. And now we just keep adding stuff. Greens, browns, food. Greens, browns, food. That's how it goes. Mix it up. Let it sit. Now, at any point I can take compost out of this. I think it'll be helpful to have a second barrel and have one that's ready to go and one that's still working. Eventually, several might be nice. This compost is going to make beautiful, beautiful, beautiful top feeding for these tropical plants. We really love our oceanfront life here, and we're really enjoying doing our part to cut down on household waste and make organic fertilizer out of that. All right, ciao for now. That's a simple DIY compost system. Almost ready to go.